John Beeline has Michigan basketball back on the map. The Wolverines are off to the school's best start since the 1988-89 season, when opponents try to figure out how best to defend Trey Burke and Tim Hardaway Jr. Others, like Jordan Morgan, continue to step up, and that's what has Michigan at number 3 in the country. SEC and the Big Ten getting together. Michigan hosting Arkansas. First half, Tim Hardaway Jr. collecting one of his 9 rebounds. He takes up the court, hits Glenn Robinson III, who would slam it home for 2 of his team-high 17 points. Later in the first, another freshman, Nick Stauskas, gathers the ball in the left corner and drills a 3. He had 12 points in 36 minutes of action. All 5 Michigan starters scored in double digits in this one. Up 10 at the break, Michigan was, but Arkansas scrapped back, trimming the lead to 1 midway through the second half. Jordan Morgan sending a message with the offensive board and a putback. Michigan had 16 of those offensive rebounds, and Morgan with 6 of them. From there, the Wolverines pulled away. Trey Burke here with the exclamation point at the end. He finished with 16 points, 7 assists. Michigan wins 80-67 and is now 9-0.
And they're a really good team, and they're not just going to lay down and let us take the win. So, you know, we knew they were going to have their runs, and it's a game of runs. So, we just wanted to have that last run and just be able to respond, you know, when they started to try to gain momentum.
Michigan State hosting Loyola Chicago at the Breslin Center. First half, Brandon Kearney keeping the ball alive. He tosses it to Adrian Payne, who collects and scores. State up was up 10. At that point, Payne had 14 and 10 boards off the bench. Heading the break, Spartans faced a 2-point deficit. Much of that was because of the play of Ben Avercamp, who had a game-high 25. But leaving to an outstanding freshman and step-up Gary Harris, catching fire in the second half, hitting 3 straight threes early. Harris finished with 20 points, and Michigan State was back out front. Loyola came to play in this one, though. Eventually, the Spartans proved too tough. Adrian Payne was there to put the icing on the cake. 73-61 the final.
Just, they were getting me open. I mean, they were getting good screens, and I was able to get the ball from up top from Keith to Trav. And I mean, I was just knocking down shots. So I mean, all the credit really goes to those guys, because I mean, they're the ones that got me open, and I was able to knock down shots.
Checking in with the MAC, Western Michigan on the road at Illinois State. Another big loss caps a rough week for the Broncos. They fall 85-63. Central Michigan Chippewas on the road as well, falling to the undefeated Charlotte 49ers 78-66. Kyle Randall paced the Chips with 15. Division II now, GVSU hosting the Fashion Gurus of Ohio Dominican at the Fieldhouse. First half, the Latvian duo strikes. Ernie Ansons can't get the hook to fall, but Krister Zidkas is there for the putback, puts GVSU up 8. Later, it's Northview alum Darren Kaputska with the steal, and then finding Breland Hogan underneath for the easy bucket. He had a team-high 16. Lakers win 67-58. Following the men, the GVSU woman took the floor against the same opponent. First half, Genesis's Lawrence Stadola getting the ball. She hits the turnaround jumper with a kiss off the glass. She had a team-high 11. Lakers win big, 65-38. Now 6-1, they face a pair of road contests against Hillsdale and Findlay coming up next week. NBA now, Pistons visiting the Cleveland Cavaliers. Fourth quarter, Rodney Stuckey tosses it down the court to a wide-open Brandon Knight, who throws it down. Pistons were up 9 at that point. Later in the fourth, it's Knight with the 3, and it's through. It was Knight's game as he had a career-high 30. Pistons win their second road game of the season, 104-97 the final. Based on the popular belief, this year's Heisman Trophy winner essentially came down to 2 names, Texas A&M's Johnny Manziel and Notre Dame's Manti Te'o. If Te'o won the award, he would have become the first defensive-only player ever to win it. Michigan's Charles Woodson was the first primarily defensive player, but he did play some offense as well. If Manziel won the award, he would become the first freshman ever to take home college football's biggest individual award.
And now, the 2012 winner of the Heisman Memorial Trophy is Johnny Manziel.
Johnny Heisman, a nickname perhaps a bit more glorious than Johnny Football, as he heard his name called there, becoming just the second Texas A&M Aggie to ever win the award. The first was John David Crow back in 1957. Western Michigan and Ferris State getting back on the ice at Lawson Ice Arena tonight, wrapping up their 2-game series. The Broncos were looking for a big sweep in their 5th straight win, while the Bulldogs were looking to just leave Kazoo with a split. It's Teddy Bear toss tonight at the arena. The 2 teams played a scoreless first period. Second period, still no score. A loose puck at mid-ice, and it's Garrett Thompson who comes out of the penalty box, finds it all alone, puts it in the back of the net. 1-0 Bulldogs. Less than 5 minutes to go in the game now. Western on the power play. Dane Walters with the pass to Chase Balassi, who ties the game at 1. 2 minutes later, Mike Leone rips off a shot that gets by the goaltender, completing the comeback. Western wins this one 2-1.